Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. I'm here to recap my first of two NBA playoff game 7s, and New York Knicks. They gotta be disappointed in their fans. Stephen A. Can't wait to hear that rant from Stephen A. But yeah, kind of gave it away here. The Pacers beat the New York Knicks. Dominant. 130 to 109. They were fantastic. They shot the lights out in this game. The Pacers shot 53 for 79, 67.1%. And now people talked about the Knicks' strengths, their defense, how good their defense is, all the good defenders they have. But that defense was missing today. A PB&J. I was looking for that defense. I didn't see that Knicks defense out there. Swiss cheese. The Pacers lost to 13 of 24 from 3, 54.2%. Their offense was fantastic. It feels like when the Pacers are on top of their game playing their best, they're a hard team to beat. Because you got Halliburton, who was fantastic today, but when you got players like, you have Siakam with 20, Nembhard with 20, Turner with 17, McConnell with 12 points, 7 assists, Naismith 19 points, Isaiah Jackson 9 points. When they're scoring like that, it's hard to beat them. And Halliburton actually showed up today. He had 26 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. He really wasn't doing much for the first few minutes of the first quarter, but then all of a sudden he went off, scored like 14 points. He was fantastic. 26 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 10 of 17 shooting. What a fantastic game from Tyrese Halliburton. The Indiana Pacers had the greatest shooting game in NBA playoff history. And this isn't just saying this just to say it. It's actually true. And they're going to tell you Eastern Conference Finals to face Boston in the TD Garden. And the Knicks had one of the worst defensive performances in NBA playoff history. And this hurts for the Knicks, but the Knicks lost in the second round last year in 6 games, and in the playoffs in 2021, this has been a good team 3 of the last 4 years. Like, they aren't such an underdog team. The Knicks, I don't know what happened to their defense. They come up big on the road in Game 7. It's hard to win there. They've struggled on the road. They've been so good at home, but when they play on the road, they've struggled. But once they come out hot, I had a feeling they were going to win this game. The Knicks just can never consistently get stops or just make enough shots to even try to come back. Halliburton hit 6 threes. Nembhard had a good first round series. Siakam was fantastic. They wanted it more than the Knicks, it felt like. They wanted it more. They were more hungrier. And the Knicks aren't frauds. They picked their worst game to play their worst. And they had some injuries, and I think the injuries they finally caught up to. I'm not discrediting the Pacers. I just feel like the injuries, were just too much to overcome. Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson breaking his hand. OG Anunoby having that hamstring. He did play, but he wasn't able to play at 100%. He wasn't moving fast, barely running. A hamstring. I just feel like the injuries caught up to him. But you gotta give the Pacers credit, because when they were down in this series 3-2, I'm like, they're not gonna win this series. But then they win 2 straight games in blowout fashion. Like, they dominated these last 2 games. They proved these last 2 games they were the better team than the Knicks. I wish the Knicks were at full strength so you could have seen 2 healthy teams going at it, but ultimately it's not the case, and the Knicks destroyed them these last 2 games. We'll go over some more stats here. Turner, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 7 for 11. Andrew Nembhard, 20 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 8 for 10. Drops 20 in a Game 7, man. But I want to go over this stat here. Aaron Naismith, Andrew Nembhard, and TJ McCall combined to 85% from the field. That is 22 for 26 shooting. When they're doing that, it's hard to beat that, especially if you got Siakam and Halliburton give you about 15-20 points. And yeah, it sucks for the Knicks to lose, but they still had a great season. But ultimately just come to an end. The injuries come back to haunt them, and their defense just fell apart. But Nembhard averaged 13 points on 68% true shooting through the first 2 rounds and 48% from 3 this playoffs. He's been fantastic these first 2 rounds, being efficient. Naismith, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 8 for 8 shooting, perfect. And he's facing his former team in the next round in the conference finals. That's gonna be fun. You know how I was talking about how I think game 5 or 6, how I was talking about Naismith, how he really isn't a big offensive impact, and he goes 8 for 8 in game 7. Prove me wrong. Isaiah Jackson, 9 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 3 for 3. Man, Isaiah Jackson in the conference finals. Isaiah Jackson's a really underrated player for that Pacers team. Remember him playing for Kentucky? He was a beast. Obi Toppin, 3 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Oh my God, 3 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. He was good. He was solid. T.J. McConnell, 12 points, 7 assists, 6 for 8. He had a hell of a series. Like, he is just such a game changer. And now going to the conference finals, and he was a huge part of this run to me. He was fantastic in this series. Just these playoffs, he's been good. Now the others are the stats for the Pacers. They had 6 guys with 10 plus points. He had 3 guys with 20 plus. I'm so impressed with this Pacers team going on the road, or just winning Game 6 at home in a blowout, and then blowing the Knicks out on the road. I don't care if the Knicks had the injuries. You can't use that as an excuse. You gotta have next man up. And they just got out hustled. Alec Burks and DiVincenzo, they were the only 2 that showed up. Miles McBride, where were you, sir? Let's look at your stats here. If you played 40 minutes, you had 8 points. You had 2 assists and 5 rebounds. That's not good. 4 for 14. I mean, he's a young 3 and D player they can have for the future. But I don't know. He had an up and down series. Like, there's some games he shot good, some games he shot bad, but overall he had a good year and played solid. Hartenstein, you played 30 minutes, you had 0 points, buddy. Go to Taiwan, sir, with Dwight Howard. You had 8 rebounds. Wow. Yeah, he wasn't good. You just need to re-sign Hartenstein and OG and whatever. But the off-season goals is your freeze probably looking to maybe extending Brunton Hartenstein. I know Hartenstein didn't have a great game here, but he's really been their big hustle guy with Josh Hart. And maybe you get Randall and Brunson back next year, healthy. Get everyone healthy, extend Tibbs. It's probably some of what you're looking for. DiVincenzo, 39 points, 11 of 21, 9 3-pointers. He was the only one that really showed up today. He was their top performer. A monster game despite this Game 7 loss. But nobody else showed up besides him and Alec Burks. Anunoby, 5 points in 5 minutes, 2 for 2. Yeah, he could barely move out there. I mean, I applaud him for trying to play, but I said he needed to, but I didn't think he would look that bad trying to, run at full speed. Brunson, 17 points, 9 assists, 6 for 17. He didn't shoot well. He broke his hand as well, fractured left hand. But it was a great run in these playoffs by Jalen Brunson. I know he didn't have a good Game 7 here, 6 for 17. But you still got to give credit to a great playoff run. Carried him in so many games. You got to give credit to Jalen Brunson in these playoffs. Achua, 28 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 7. Precious Achua's his offensive game's not that good. The other stats: Josh Hart, 10 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 for 9. He's probably playing hurt too. And then Alec Burks, 26 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 8 for 13. Call me crazy, but Alec Burks being your second best player in a Game 7 probably isn't an ideal thing, because he was the only one doing anything throughout this whole game. Him and Dante DiVincenzo. He probably earned himself a contract extension now. Yeah, he was good in games, I believe, game 5 and 7. Shot the ball well, but nobody else really showed up besides him and Dante Divincenko. The injuries finally caught up to him, but it was a good season for the Knicks. They just didn't show up. Their defense didn't come to play, and their offense didn't. He's only shooting 42%, giving up only shooting 37% from 3. Well, it's not bad at 13 and 35, but when you're giving up 67% from the floor and you're 54% from 3, it's going to be hard to win. And you're giving up 52 points in the paint. It's going to be hard to win. But yeah, Pacers deserve it. They're going to face the Boston Celtics Tuesday, 8 p.m. Game 1 at TD Garden. Looking forward to covering the Eastern Conference Finals. But tonight we have Game 7 as well. Nuggets, Timberwolves to decide who will play the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. So yeah, it's really all to say here. So yeah, until next time, peace, and I'll see you guys back here tonight.